What was President Obama's carbon footprint on Earth Day? I don't think Mother Earth was too happy about the flight he had to take to give a speech in front of a wind turbine. Wind turbine, remember that. That's where he gave that speech. Halfway across the country. Good job on leading by example, Mr. President. Read all about it in my free email newsletter at glennbeck.com. You can sign up for it right now. Yesterday, we did celebrate Earth Day, and so did the mainstream media.
And now to a new vehicle that's sure to turn a lot of heads on this Earth Day. It's called a Peapod.
Robert Kennedy Jr., his Riverkeeper organization, is part of that alliance, and it's holding a star-studded Earth Day benefit today.
We're going to show you some quick, easy, and cheap ways to make your workplace more eco-friendly.
On this Earth Day, we have a closer look at the growing threat to this planet we all call home.
Oh, no. No to global warming. Yes to cap and trade. Let's rewind a week ago. Remember the coverage of the Tea Parties.
I think you get the general tenor of this. It's anti-government, anti-CNN, since this is highly promoted by the right-wing conservative network Fox.
Number two story tonight, the sad reality behind the corporate-sponsored Tea Parties. Visual proof that this is not about spending, deficits, or taxes, but about some Americans getting riled up about these things, riled up by the people who cause these things, and finally about some Americans who just hate the President of the United States.
Today is the day that taxes are due to the federal government. And in an act of somewhat inchoate amorphous protest, Americans in many cities around the country gathered in public around their chosen protest symbol today, the tea bag.
Wow. See what a difference? I mean, should I say what a difference GE makes? Is it a coincidence that a particular network's parent company is the largest supplier of wind turbines in the U.S.? Wait, who was in front of a wind turbine yesterday? Oh, my gosh, it's Barack Obama. I'm not the only one asking this question. Everybody should be. Yesterday at the GE shareholders meeting, a bunch of people asked about this network's bias. One of them was Bill O'Reilly's producer, Jesse Waters. He joins me now. Are you afraid to come in the all-cry zone, Bill? Is that what's happening here?
You know, I tried to get into the bunker, and there was just too many sandbags in front of the door. I couldn't get through.
I heard you knocking on the door. You let me in, Glenn.
Once again. Yeah. And then there was like little guys, though, you know, were outside.
Don't give away all of our secrets.
Centuries.
All right, so Bill, tell me about this. This story absolutely amazes me.
This is a big story, and you don't know the half of it, Beck, and you will after you watch The Factor tonight.
No, I may not watch.
Well, if you don't watch it, then you're not going to be in the know, and I know that you want to be in the know.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, now this is far beyond any wind turbine deal.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. That's how we're going to do the interview. Which is the most pro-Obama network in the country right now?
I know it. I'm thinking about it. I got it.
Tell the folks.
No, it's MSNBC and NBC.
NBC News,
yeah.
Okay. Which network promoted the Obama presidency during the election the most? Was
NBC.
Most for him?
NBC.
Okay. Those are facts. They're irrefutable. Everybody knows it. Now, there was a network attached to NBC, CNBC, which had the brazenness to actually criticize some of Obama's economic policies. Remember that?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Jeffrey Immelt, the CEO of General Electric, and Jeff Zucker, the president of NBC, went over to New Jersey to CNBC, and what did they do?
They told them to keep their mouth, to zip it on anti-Obama stuff.
In fact, the guy is Rick Santelli, is that his name?
Yeah, the teabag guy.
He came out and said, they sent me to a re-education camp. So now all the Beck viewers and listeners know what the framework is. That we have the General Electric Company, one of the most powerful companies in the world, actively promoting a political candidate for the presidency, Barack Obama, and then after he wins, allowing vicious attacks on any criticism of said president, and actually telling the CNBC people, knock off your criticism of him.
But they've also, Bill, they've also, and I know you've covered this because I've watched it for years, they've covered this, or you've covered this, where they sell all these green things where they're just like, hey, look at this.
Okay, that's true. But
Brian Williams, look at this nice light bulb that the trees are lit in.
Right. That's true. But this is a bigger thing than that. All right, so you start there with the fact that this corporation, General Electric, has promoted a candidate for president who won and is now protecting that man. This is an abuse of power, abuse of corporate power. Should not happen. Now, the company, GE, owns one of the biggest media outlets in the world, NBC. So, got a tremendous amount of power packed. Now we find out through the good reporting of the Washington Examiner, small newspaper in D.C., we find out, and this is what the factor story is tonight, that General Electric has set up a division to capitalize on cap and trade, the carbon corporate tax, if it's passed. General Electric is heavily lobbying for contracts that could bring them billions of dollars, getting involved with the cap and trade transactions, whereby every company in the United States that has emissions would be told by the federal government, if you go over a certain amount, you need to pay us or buy other things. GE would be right in the middle of profiting from that. So, hey, I wonder why they're shutting down criticism of Barack Obama and attacking people like you and me, who on occasion might criticize the president.
You, sir, you know, every American knows that if this parent company of Fox was building war machines or tanks or whatever, if we would have supported George W. Bush, the media would have gone crazy. These people, they don't care about GE. Jeffrey Immelt does not, I mean NBC, Jeffrey Immelt does not care about NBC or its news credibility whatsoever. It is nothing but a propaganda machine to be able to sell wind turbines and make money for GE. That's all it is.
It's deeper than that, though. If President Obama were to award the contracts for cap and trade, which isn't passing, by the way, but Nancy Pelosi says she's going to bring it back again. Say it passes. If President Obama then rewards General Electric for all its support and help, that's Chicago politics. That's quid pro quo. So you're into an area now that makes Watergate looks like a Shirley Temple movie.
All right.
And that's the big story we're breaking tonight.
Bill, thank you very much. I'll let you go. I'll let you go this time. This time I'm going to let you go as a friend. I won't hold you and pin you down. Bill O'Reilly, tonight, don't miss it. Also on the FoxNation.com, we have an exclusive audio clip from the GE shareholder meeting. You hear the incredible, real story on the factor tonight. It's going to boggle your mind. Please tell your friends who can get it, but don't yet watch the O'Reilly factor tonight.